So the last video I'll do today, while I'm sat having my lunch on this lovely bench, this is my office today, the last video I'll do, sorry, is about van costs. This is another passionate subject of mine. I had a comment a long time ago now from a customer. It was just a throwaway, no big deal comment. Oh, glad that you haven't got a nice new shiny van. Now, what they were kind of implying and what they said in other ways around it was that they didn't want to be paying like high expensive rates to me for me then to be spending it on a really expensive van. They don't want to think that the money's going on a van. They don't want to think they're funding a luxury van, you know, which at the end of the day is my office when I'm not sat on a park bench. They don't want to be spending money and paying a high price for a van. They want the money to be going on their job, and they obviously appreciate some of it goes in my pocket. Now, what I think they were implying is that someone with a clapped out old van is going to be cheaper. That's very interesting, because if you actually look at lease options, higher costs of getting a new van, that's quite a lot per month. If you then look at the cost of actually running a vehicle, an old vehicle, buying it, running it, the costs are quite high. And I know that, well, anyone that knows me will know of issues I've had with my van. You need to repair it quite often. Things go wrong with it. It doesn't happen with a new van. So anybody thinking, oh, I'm going to get someone with a rusty old Ford Transit and get a cheap price, nah. The overheads, and this comes back to my video earlier, the overheads and the running costs of that vehicle probably aren't going to save you loads of money, and probably isn't going to make that particular business cheaper because they've got an old fleet of vans, or one van, or whatever it is. Probably not going to be cheaper than if they've got a shiny one. Now, obviously every business is different, everyone's finances are different, everyone's overheads are different. They might have a fleet of new vans, or they might have one old van. Overheads might be split by 20 people in the office. Overheads might be split by 3 people on the tools. Every business is very, very different. And this is why I would like to conclude by explaining that you can't look at a going rate. Going rates do not exist. You can't look at this business charges X amount per day. That one charges 10 times that, therefore they're ripping people off. No, they've probably got people in the office that aren't on the tools earning money. They've probably got to pay rent on the office. They've probably got a fleet of 20 vans, which is 20 lots of diesel, MOTs, running costs, service, full service, oil changes, all the rest. They might be a bigger company and they might have bigger overheads. Everyone's overheads are different and particular to you, your business. That's all you need to calculate. How much do you want to earn? How much are your overheads? Therefore, my rate is this. You're not ripping anybody off by charging a high rate. That's a gross amount. It's paying for your accountant. That must be at least $1,000 a year if you're a limited company. It's paying for your insurance. If you haven't got insurance, why are you not acting professionally? It's only £100 a year. Why haven't you got it? It's not going to make your overhead significantly higher. It's paying for all these little bits and bobs. Waste license, lunch. If you're out, you know, and you get, like, the job gets taken longer and you get to spend £5, you got to eat. That's fuel for you to do the job. All these little things, they add up, and I'll be surprised if you're not running on, let's say, £20 a day, £50 a day, even £70 a day, to make you that amount that you want to take home. About £150 a day, something like that. You're not charging £150 a day, you're charging, let's say, £200 a day to get that £150 for you. Do it.